So what's the latest on this potential eruption in Iceland? Well, things could be getting a little better. First, let's start off with the town of Grindavik. Cracks and fissures are forming along the roads and in the town, and this just makes for a very alarming and dangerous situation for the town and for the surrounding area. The government did allow one member of each family to go back into the town briefly yesterday to retrieve items and belongings. However, shortly after, the town was evacuated once again. It is looking like on Tuesday they are allowing some people back into the town again to retrieve some items, but albeit very briefly. The lava flow continues to move underground and the land continues to deform with more than 3 feet shifts in some areas. Now shifting to the potential eruption area, it is looking likely that this will be northeast of the town. The location of this eruption means that it could affect both the town of Grindavik and the Blue Lagoon and geothermal power plant there. Shifting to the Blue Lagoon area, Monday night the government approved of the construction of a barrier to protect the geothermal power plant that's right next door to the Blue Lagoon. However, the plans originally approved were for the construction of a barrier to the west side of the plant, which is where the eruption was thought to initially take place. However, now the barrier will probably be shifted to reflect the new prediction of an eastern eruption. As for the eruption itself, the severity of the initial blast has been downgraded and is looking less likely to be an explosive eruption like initially thought. This does not mean that the eruption won't pose a threat still. It also seems like an offshore eruption may be off the table now. The good news here is that it does look more likely that air travel will not be halted, as toxic ash won't be ejected into the atmosphere if it is not an explosive eruption. This is good news for the tourists in Iceland who are currently debating if they should cut their trip short and leave early, but it is looking more likely that flights won't be affected. As of now, Keflavik International Airport is still running as normal, and everywhere else in the country things are also relatively normal. However, earthquakes continue to rattle the country, mainly the southwestern part of the island. Iceland has declared a state of emergency, and the situation is still very serious as everyone continues to wait and see how this will all play out. An eruption is still considered likely and the threat remains high, and as the magma continues to flow underground, all we can do is wait and see what happens next.